Okay, most teams look to play 4 at the back, and in our Emerging Jets program here, that's what we always look to try to play out with. As you can see, most teams also look to press with 3 strikers against the 4. So that obviously means we have an overload within our back line. So how we play out in a controlled manner, because our principle is the fact that we want to play out in a controlled manner to bring the ball into the midfield so that they're able to look to see how they can play in between the lines, and again play forward so that in our front third we can start to have combination play and 1v1s. Alright, basically our goalkeeper starts with the ball, and we encourage our goalkeeper to play quite high in regards to where he starts to play out from the back, which encourages our defenders already to push higher, which in turn makes the opposition look to drop already. We then have to identify where the 2v1 is in regards to where we have the overload against the 3. So at this point in time, this wide player is half and half in between our centre back and our full back, the same on the opposite side, and now we have a single striker here in the middle of our 2 centre backs. We like to get when the opposition does this, we like to get our centre backs nice and wide so that the one player doesn't control both players. So if we had this scenario, then it would be very easy for this one striker to be able to control the 2 centre backs. So that's why we look to spread the 2 centre backs, and we look to try and make the space at times between our fullback and our centre backs big, so that the 7 or the 11 cannot control, again, a centre back and a fullback with one person. So when we look to try and look to play out, this person, our first initial movement is to come high, but we then may drop. So again, we make that space big so that the player can receive it. If we're looking now that this player looks to close down the centre back, obviously this player will look to start to drop against our left fullback. The space is on the opposite side. So now what we need to look to do is, if we can't play the ball directly across, again using our keeper who's using a high line to ensure that he receives the ball, and then again can switch the play and the point of the attack. So now we now create a 2v1 against the wide player. If the player gets too close in regards to the opposite wide player, then this player again controls the 2. So this one's understanding of positioning is very important, and the opposite fullback's understanding of positioning is very important. So again, we get a position so that this one can't control both. If he looks to drop back in here, we now have time and space for our centre back to look to see how they can drive with the ball, hopefully towards halfway, with our fullback starting to go high, and then our midfielders start to look to position themselves so they can receive the ball.